sorry, but I must interrupt this show.
Leonard, you know what it is. Hey, Ham Solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn how we do. Hey.
They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. 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 Man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a whip. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you in red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blizzard. Got you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make you bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Lowdown on TSWS. I'm your host, Loke7, and joining me as always is my co-host, Mr. Ham Solo 05. Ham, how you doing?
Yeah. Tired. I don't know why really either. I think it's because I stayed up too late playing some games the last few nights, and I had to take my. I had to go on a field trip with my daughter as a chaperone of like 4 other kids.
Oh, okay.
And we went to the Science Museum, and I had to pretend like I knew stuff.
That sounds fun.
And the kids had a blast, and I pretended like I had a blast. I did. I had a good time with them, but I was like, man, I don't want to walk over here. And they're like, let's go over there. And I was like, all right.
Fine.
Yeah. I did it all with a smile, but now I don't have to smile anymore.
It's not necessary anymore.
No, it is not. But I tell you what, it was all worth it, because when I sat down and had lunch, my daughter looked over at me and said, Dad, I really appreciate that you came. And I was like, yo, that's what's up.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Worth
it. Because she'll never forget it,
yeah.
But let's see. I beat South of Midnight, which that game story was fantastic. I went from a 7.9 where I had it.
Okay.
I had it where I left off with about a 7.9, right? And then as the story just kept getting better, some of the fighting got a little bit better, but it didn't get like dramatically better. So
really,
it's still kind of a stickler for me a little bit. But that music was so good. And the storytelling, I felt like, was like incredible. And you don't really get a game that kind of is seemingly like a platformer, almost like it almost seems like a kid game. But when you invest yourself into the story, you're like, this shit ain't for kids. This is not for kids.
Yeah.
Some of the shit that happens within that story, it's like, yikes. Wow, that really
I can't believe they
that
did
really
this.
happened. Kind of thing goes on with that. So it's really cool. I thought it was a really good showcase of the HDR that they're able to implement nowadays as well. Especially in a game like that where it's like not supposed to be too graphically intense. and super duper amazing, but like I feel like it did a great job of showcasing the talents that they, you know, acquired through time of working on this game on Unreal Engine and just being with Microsoft and stuff. I thought it was a really good showcase of storytelling. In a way, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Psychonauts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you ever played that, but like
I played the first one, not the second one. Though.
so it really reminds me of the second Psychonauts. The way the implementation of music, some of the implementation of like running away, in like certain parts. I mean, that game has a lot of situations where you're running away. Um, let's see. Just kind of the weirdness of everything kind of reminded me of Psychonauts, which is a great thing to be reminded of because that is like an all-time Xbox platform. So to even be compared to that, like I'm not saying it's as great as Psychonauts 2 because I think Psychonauts 2 is a bit better than South of Midnight as a whole as an all-around package. But I thought South of Midnight did a really good job for a studio that has been taking kind of not the best game after not the best game after not the best game. I feel like they finally got themselves a good base game that they can really
Mm.
take off. But oh yeah,
Okay.
you asked me what I've been playing. That Assassin's Creed Shadows. Um, Getting further into that game, enjoying it. I restarted Starfield again
Of
because of my
course.
sound bar. Because of my sound bar, to be honest. Like I just wanted to play it and get all of the sound and stuff because that game is packed full of really cool sounds and
Yeah.
like the audio that they did in that game is phenomenal. Assassin's Creed Shadows as well. Because I was running around and the way you can hear like the the nature and everything in the background, really neat. Um, and the last game that I played that I'm gonna name is I played a little bit of Tomb Raider 2013. And that's because I haven't beat the Tomb Raider. And I know there's going to be another new Tomb Raider.
That's crazy. You haven't beaten any of the Tomb Raiders.
Not since the OG PlayStation, bud.
What?
Nah, man.
You have a lot to catch up on, man. No, no. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm probably not gonna go back and play any of the two older ones because I beat the original one, like the original one that was also on the Sega Saturn. But
Mm-hmm.
I haven't beat any of the ones from there.
Okay.
And then 2013 and on, I know they did like kind of like a redo of Tomb Raider,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to beat those Tomb Raiders because I think there's
Right.
like three of them, isn't there? There's like the
Yeah, it's just three.
remaster. There's the
Yeah.
Shadow of Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider, and
I
I
think
think there's one more.
I think Shadow's the last one, actually.
Okay, so what's the second one?
I don't know. I know I beat all of them, but all three of them, but I'm forgetting what their names were.
Tomb Raider and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Recent Tomb Raider trilogy.
Yeah.
Rise
of the Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider.
There we go. Yeah, it was Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
Okay,
right now I'm playing 2013 though. I'm playing that
Alright.
one first because I think Rise of the Tomb Raider isn't that the one with first starting out on with the ice pick?
Yeah, and then she loses her friend, the fat dude or something, and she just go after him. Or
Yeah, and
something
she
like
ends
that.
up like because I played a little bit of that game because Epic gave those games away for free a while back, and I was testing them out on my PC because I was really stoked that I got a 3080 at that time.
Yeah.
And the game was really pretty. But But yeah, she ends up getting trapped in like a museum or something like that, and that place falls apart or something like that. You gotta escape. Yeah, type shit.
Yeah.
But that's it for
All
the
right.
most part for me. That's what I've been pretty much
You've been
playing.
jamming. Mm-hmm.
Been jamming. A game that I've been on the hunt for, looking for, that I know I could find it if I really drove around town and looked for it. But a game I've been fiending to play is the original Need for Speed Underground.
Um. Oh, you want to play it on the PS2? Is that the plan?
No, the
What?
OG Xbox is where I want to play it.
You want to play it on the OGX? Okay, so you need to find the physical. Okay. All right.
I'll take it on the PS2, but
Well.
if I bought it on the PS2, played it a little bit, and then I went back to the store and seen it was on Xbox, I'd probably have doubled it. Just because the Xbox, I believe the Xbox One lets you implement your own music, which I do have my own music on my Xbox.
Yeah, but the music on the original Need for Speed is fucking awesome, man.
Oh, it's great, but like
Riders on the
about 40,
storm.
but about 30, 40 races in, I'll get tired of it.
True, true. And then you want to put some Kendrick Lamar, some Drake in there.
50 Cent actually is is usually my go-to, and then Lil Wayne.
50.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, the Massacre is my shit.
Okay.
Underground 2 is amazing, but I'm fiending for Underground 1.
Oh, you want the first one? Okay, I thought you were talking about the second one.
No, Underground 2 is great, but Underground 1 is like, I remember when Underground 1 came out, I fucking felt like Paul Walker. I felt like that motherfucker. I was like, get me my Skyline, or get me my orange Supra with the green decals.
Yeah.
Let's fucking
Bro,
go. Yes.
I don't know.
By the time Dub Edition came out, I then felt like Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too Furious.
Yes, because Too Fast, Too Furious was more of a cat and mouse movie.
Yeah.
Where the original Fast and the Furious was more or less about like drag race. And now it's fucking, I don't know what you want to call it.
The drag races. The drag races.
Now fucking Fast and the Furious is turned into fucking Spy Hunter. Fucking nuts. Like, I don't know.
It's turned into Spy Hunter, 007, the Bourne Ultimatum.
Oh my god, I hate it.
And
which is crazy because I like all those movies that you just named. The Jason Bourne movies are fire. Like,
yo, those movies are
not
awesome.
a huge fan of Matt Damon, but he acted his ass off.
Yeah,
Bourne movie.
yeah, that's his range, you know. And a lot of actors, you know, if they're smart, they stick to what they're good at. Then they don't try and do too much out of that. Like, look at that guy. What's his name? Jason Statham. You know, he knows what he's good at.
Yeah, his last movie was not good though. Jason Statham.
Well, it outsold. What's it? Is it
Don't
Cinderella?
say it. Don't do that.
All right. Let's greet the chat, Ham.
I think just your average race pit stop gets more coverage than that.
Yo, that's messed up. That's messed up, man. That's very messed up. Matt likes games. We're going to look at that trailer, that gameplay. Welcome in. Seawolf Gaming, Ray Chi. Who else done hopped up in here? Turtis Hawaii. Welcome in. You guys are really going back and forth in the comment section. Oshers. Welcome, Oshers. Everyone, please make sure to smash the like button. We really do appreciate everyone coming in here. Nice and early. Jason Portillo. Thank you for correcting us about Rise of the
Seawolf talks about don't forget Midnight Club Double. Midnight Club Dub Edition was actually my favorite one of those two. Of all the Need for Speeds and all the Midnight Clubs, Dub Edition was number 1, and then it went Underground 2, and then it was Underground 1. as number 3, but I'm fiending to play Underground 1. And I actually have Need for Speed Underground 2, and I have Midnight Club, Dub Dish. Now I want to get Midnight Club 3, or I want to get the other Midnight Club, maybe Midnight Club 2 is what I
Mm-hmm.
meant, and also the original Underground. I really want to play the original again. Dude, I loved it because all you had to do was shift gears and you just like tapped the stick to switch lanes. Remember?
That was the best drag racing for me, at least.
Dude, it had
Was
all the
the
sounds
underground
and
games.
everything when the engine
Yeah,
revved up, and then you could hear
yeah.
like the street, like
The
it just sounded
nitrous,
so good.
the nitrous as well.
It all sounded great. It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
I don't know. I don't even know why they removed that. Like they didn't even need to. You know what? I just go and download it and just emulate it. Whatever. Dude, this whole Nintendo thing has.
Oh no.
I used to sit here and be like, I don't have time for emulation. Screw emulation. But this Nintendo thing, man, it triggered me. It triggered me. And yes, we're going to talk about Nintendo, but first we need to talk about the good things. We have to talk about the good things in gaming. The good things, obviously, is Xbox. Welcome in Vincent Vega and Dorian Gray. All right. As for what I've been playing personally, I haven't been playing games. Not gonna lie. Uh, and Nate was on yesterday's podcast, and he mentioned a anime named Frieren, and he was like, "You should give it a go." And I did give it a go, and it is exceptional. Huh? It's a very, very special anime, no doubt. If you have time, it's not that long. It's like 28 episodes. It's not like One Piece or anything. Huh? Don't get
I don't think
intimidated.
anything's like One Piece.
I think Naruto and Dragon Ball, the whole Dragon Ball series. If you take it all in its entirety, I think those two are comparable to One Piece.
That's fair.
Yeah, because Naruto's gigantic, bro. It's huge. Reichi says Frieren is awesome. Yeah, man. Like I, I saw some pics and I was like, I don't know, man. This looks kind of gay. I'm not sure I'm gonna like this. But you know what?
Wow.
I watched like 6 episodes, and hey, man, it's actually not terrible. It's actually pretty good. I'm looking forward to watching the rest of it. It's very good. Okay, we're not going to start talking about trailers. Otherwise, we're going to end the whole show without actually attacking the topics. All right. Ham, Xbox has a showcase coming out in June.
I can't hear you anymore.
What?
There we go.
Can
Now I can hear you. Yeah, now I can. Xbox is dead. They don't have any. All of a sudden, your sound is gone again. You gotta add. I don't know. It's wild. Every time I add you to the scene, I can't hear you, but I took you away from the scene. Now I can hear you. I can't see you anymore. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you need to transition, don't you? Oh, I can't hear you anymore now. That's cool. Yeah. Let's just go back to this. Hello? Oh, it says you're offline. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Get that shit over with. I don't know what he had on the screen. But it's more Nintendo stuff, and I can tell you guys what. I have not been very happy with Nintendo lately. Not been very happy with Nintendo lately. The new GameCube controller for Nintendo Switch 2 only works with GameCube games, which, understandable kind of, but seeing that the GameCube games are locked behind a paywall, it seems like it's double locked behind a paywall. Go ahead and add yourself to this scene.
And I wonder.
You can
Can
hear
you hear me
yourself.
now?
Yeah, I can hear
Oh shit! Sorry. Sometimes I'll sing Kanye's hymns.
you.
Anyways, you're saying something about
Singing
GameCube
some
games.
racist hymns. Gotcha.
Kanye was not always a racist. All right, he used to be a very dope guy.
Singing some
Anyway,
racist hymns.
all right. You're saying something about GameCube, Ham. Give me
Yeah, I
more.
was saying that, GameCube, it's like it was said in the article that the Nintendo Switch 2 GameCube controller only works with GameCube games. And I
Oh
thought
yeah,
that
yeah.
was I thought that was kind of lame, but it's a little understandable. It's like I don't know what you'd use the C button for because the C button's now like a paywall button, right? But at the same time, what I don't like about it is now that controller that you have to buy is only usable if you purchase the paywall.
Dude, this, Ham, that this is the most Nintendo thing that has ever Nintendoed. When I saw the controller thing, I was like, it's not even funny anymore. It's like, yeah, of of course, that's what Nintendo would elect to do. Like, I'm shocked if anyone else is shocked. That's how I feel about
I'm gonna need them to do
controller.
something consumer friendly before I even think about purchasing this. And because like I said, I don't have a problem with 450 as much, even though I know I'm paying $100 more than any person in Japan. Like I'll take that L, right? But like the mixture of that with $80 games to there being a whole button on a controller that is directly connected to you having to pay more. Like that entire
Yeah.
button is only if you're willing to pay more, or else it's a non-existent button.
It's madness. It's madness. Because
And then
you know what, as much as you and everyone else might try and like put it on me that I'm a like a Sony shell or whatever, Ham, Sony would never put out a PlayStation 1 themed controller, a PlayStation 2 themed controller, a PlayStation 3 themed controller, and then make it so you can only use that controller for the games from that generation. PlayStation would
man, you
never
better be
do
careful.
that.
Sony might be taking notes right now. Listen to what you're
Get the
saying.
fuck out of here! Leave PlayStation alone. Leave PlayStation alone.
They're like, oh shit, Loco over here telling us how to make more money.
Is anyone taking notes? Is anyone taking notes?
Yeah, but
Oh
literally,
my.
like everything that they added to this generation is almost like almost everything that I know of that is added to this generation is behind a paywall. So switch to GameCube controller. That's behind, you have to purchase that, which is totally understandable. But you can only play those games via. You can't purchase those games. Those are only with the subscription
Oh
service.
yeah. Yeah,
That
yeah, that's another
like
one.
hooking up a headset and talking to somebody. Well, you need a subscription to be able to talk to somebody through Nintendo's social network. Same with the camera that you can purchase with it. And then if you're like, oh man, I want to play Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, I want to play it on my new Switch. I want to play the new Switch version. Well, you have to either purchase the upgrade pack or be within the higher tiers, or I believe it's the higher tier subscription service. And I'm just like, Jesus, like everything about this thing has like a multiple cost aspect to it outside of just you buy system and buy game and you can do what you can do anywhere else. No, they have a very like you can't use Discord on it. I feel like that's an easy way on PlayStation and Xbox to be like, no, I don't want to deal with Xbox Live, or I don't want to deal with PlayStation's, you know, chat thing. I want to just go to Discord. You have that option there. You have the option to see what other people are doing in their game. And it's at as good, if not maybe a better resolution than what you have to pay for on Nintendo. They showed it in their own showcase of how horrible it looked.
Yep.
It's breathtaking how little they give a fuck. It's breathtaking.
Hey man, I'd probably do the same thing if I knew that I had a bunch of suckers that were gonna pay for it.
Hey man, I said that I'm right there with Cozy, where it's like, hey, if you fools are gonna do it, then do it. And hey, I'll sit back and watch. I don't say I have to like it. I don't think Nintendo owes me anything. I also don't owe Nintendo shit either. Everybody likes to say, hey, they don't owe you anything. Well, I also don't owe them my money. So, I mean, yeah, I can complain. If I don't like something, I can complain if I want to. They don't owe me nothing, and I don't owe them nothing. I can sit on the, I can sit in the crowd and say this game sucks. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. I mean, if I wasn't pay, if I didn't pay to go sit in the crowd to watch it, if I watched it at home for free, can I say this game sucks?
I guess
what's the difference? The only difference is I'm not a sucker if I paid for it.
Yeah.
Or personally, I don't feel like one, right? But like, I feel terrible saying anybody else would be a sucker for paying, because everybody has their own reasons for why they do stuff, right? So like, hey, you gotta play this Switch because you want you hate the resolution and frame rate of the last one. I'm not telling you don't do it. Just, same thing with the PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm not gonna sit in front of Walmart and guard you like I'm fucking defensive player of the year until you have to buy this shit. Like, I don't.
There was a fanboy that was doing that. I'm forgetting his name, but there was a fanboy ham that was there that would literally park outside of Target and check to see who's buying PlayStations, who's buying Xboxes, who's buying Switches.
That was Tim Dog.
There you go.
I remember that.
That's for me. That's next level. That is next level.
It is next level, but like a lot of people do, and I don't think Tim Dog's a horrible person, but I mean, in the gaming space, a lot of people will do what they need to do for whatever attention they feel like they need.
Yeah.
I kind of
no. I was just saying that. I was just saying that because you were saying that you're not going to stay in front of a store and guard people not to buy the Switch. And for anyone that doesn't know like context, I was just trying to bring it into like the discussion that Ham's not being like he's not exaggerating. There's people that will do this. That's what I'm saying.
There's people that will do anything, but like that's why I mean, if there weren't people that would do it, then I had no reason to say that.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm only saying it because there are people that would be willing to. I'm not one of those. If you want to spend $500,000 on a Ford Tempo, then have at it. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything to me. Doesn't stimulate me.
Is the Switch the Ford Tempo of gaming?
No, it's not that bad.
All right, let's do car analogies. We've seen food analogies for video games. It's time to do a car analogy. Ham, let's go. What is the Xbox if it's a vehicle? Welcome in, Ron Slasher.
Ooh, if the Xbox was a vehicle, man, if Xbox was a vehicle, I'd have to say that it's a Dodge or not. It's not Dodge
A
anymore. It's Ram.
Dodge.
It's Ram.
Ram. Ram
Mhm.
what?
That's what the truck is called. It's a Ram.
It's you know what? That's not a bad choice. It's not a bad choice.
Do you want me to
Except
give
for
my
the
reason,
fuel.
or you just want me to tell you which one it is?
Yeah, I want the reasoning. I want the reasoning behind it because I'm seeing one problem there, which is the fuel efficiency. Those trucks are known to be like big gas guzzlers.
They are. Um, and but I wasn't thinking about gas prices. Right?
Fiesta. Oh my
I
god.
wasn't thinking about gas prices when I was putting all this together.
Osha says it's a Cybertruck.
No, it's
Go
definitely
ahead.
not that. No. uh,
Why is it a
let's
Ram?
see. So I picked Ram because it's like not the most popular, but it works really well for what it needs to do. It weathered a lot of storms to get to where it is. Let's see. I had a perfect reason for it just a moment ago that I just can't even think of anymore now. Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, I mean it's an American, right?
Obviously.
Um.
Actually, let's get this motherfucker on the screen. Let's get the Xbox if it was a vehicle on the screen.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go. Go ahead, Em. Continue to wax lyrical about the American truck.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah. So yeah, like I said, it's it's American.
Mhm.
It's pretty reliable. It's fairly accessible. It's not the most expensive thing out there, but it does a lot of what the most expensive things can do.
That's the Xbox. All right, all right.
And are we gonna go back and forth, or you want to go straight to the next console?
No, we're going to the next one, bro. We're going right next to the next one. Okay, no. But I have a question. I have a question. These cars are known to be gas guzzlers. So what is the inefficiency, right? What is the inefficiency that the Xbox has
Okay, Game
that can
Pass,
be equated? I
Game
don't think
Pass.
I would say Game Pass is Xbox's biggest efficiency.
Yeah, but it's
Get
also
big
its biggest inefficiency as well.
as in people don't buy it, don't buy games
Well,
because of Game Pass.
well. The thing is people do fuck with Game Pass, but there's a lot of people that don't as well, and so
Mhm.
like the whole like and then as well, there's not always promised going to be like a game. I mean, now it seems like there's games in there all the time, but it wasn't always like that, right?
Yes.
And it's not promised to be like that, right? If you
Mhm.
drove this Ram in 2020, you wouldn't have been thinking about gas. You drive it now, you thinking about it,
Now I'm stressing about it.
right? So it just kind of depends on, I don't know, kind of like what's going on during the
Outside
time
of
period.
All right. All right. I got you. I got you. That was a nice save, Ham. That was a nice save. All right. What is the mighty PlayStation? If it's a vehicle, Ham.
Let's see. I would have to say
It has to be a Japanese car, obviously.
oh yeah, definitely.
Listen. Since you got to pick the Xbox, I'll pick the
Oh, okay, fine. I was ready to go. I was gonna say Nissan.
ladies and
Oh wow, you
gentlemen.
said the same thing. Let's go.
There's your PlayStation.
I said Nissan. You typed that in. Perfect.
Godzilla. This is the PlayStation. But yeah, since we agree, Ham, go ahead and tell us why it's definitely the Godzilla.
Nissan because they're they're fairly reliable cars. When they
Powerful.
have fuck ups, they're not fucking good.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're
That's
usually
fair.
not fucking good.
Yeah.
Um, but they have
Here's a blue
they have
one.
a long history of being reliable with when all things do function. They tend to last quite a
Mhm.
long time. They they're known for performance.
Yep.
Uh, Obviously they're Japanese, and they don't try to get too far. Which I don't know. This might be kind of a caveat. They
Hell
don't try
yeah,
to
Sea
get too far.
Wolf.
They don't
Sorry,
try
go
to
ahead.
get too far away from what they know.
Yeah, they know what they're good at, and then they maximize the shit out of it. At least that's what they used to do. Now they're going multiplayer, online service games. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully, the new leadership will steer the ship back to the intended direction. Because
But I
we,
tell you what, anytime I've ever heard somebody that had a Nissan,
yeah,
they're phenomenal until they gotta take it to the repair shop.
I, you know what? Maybe it's because I've owned so many cars in my life. I feel like cars have a lot to do with the owner as well, Ham. Um, I've had cars that I mistreated because of my financial situation, and I'd go like maybe a year, 2 years without servicing the car. And I've had cars that were troublesome. At least people said they were troublesome. But
Mm-hmm.
I did everything right. And I never got the car serviced at some random chop shop. And I always took it to the place if you buy a Renault, right? Then you go and do the servicing at Renault. You buy a BMW, go to BMW. Yes, it's more expensive, but all the cars that I've treated with that amount of care never gave me any problems. It's
Yeah, but
always
you
the
also have
ones.
to adhere to the type of buyer that usually gets said type of vehicle, right? So you hear a lot of things about Subarus being problematic, but a lot of people off-road the shit out of this.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
hear that about Nissans, right? But half the time you look at who's driving, it's a motherfucker with their hat backwards trying to speed.
all the time. And they don't pay for the maintenance, dude. Because when you're speeding all the time, guess what? You need to change your brake pads every 6 months or every 3 months instead of every 12 months. These types of things, it all adds up, but people don't pay attention to it. They just wanna fucking keep going.
Yeah, y'all
Anyways,
clean your PS5s.
all
Nasty
right.
motherfuckers.
The next one, Nintendo Switch, Ham. If the Switch is a car,
Oh my
the fuck
god.
is it?
I know exactly who they are.
What?
Honda.
Honda. Which one?
Mm-hmm.
Civic.
You know what?
What?
And here's why I say Honda.
Yeah.
Because every once in a while they think that they are just the most influential thing to ever happen.
There's your Honda.
And they have a very
You know what,
specific
Seawolf?
way.
You're right.
They
That's
have a
your
very
tiny one.
specific way of reminding America that you not like us. And it's called Acura.
It's an Acura.
it's called Acura.
All right, then. Let's go with the Acura.
So I mean, it really feels like to me, Nintendo is more like
Yo, is this an
Honda because
Acura? Ham? That's a nice ass car, man.
it is.
That is a nice ass car.
And you should
Yeah.
see how much it costs. It's a nice ass payment.
As much as the Switch.
And that's kind of what I'm hinting to right now is
Yeah.
Nintendo made you think, oh, this is nice. This is cheap.
Uh-huh. And then
And then they like, we got a line for y'all. It's called Acura. You still gonna pay them import prices, motherfucker.
what?
I'm
That's
telling you. I'm telling
That's
you.
wild.
Nintendo is Honda to a T. I was gonna say Toyota, but no. Honda is a company that seems very thought out when it comes to the customer and like how much money you spend, right?
Yeah.
But if you're not careful, you will spend way more than you should. Way more. I mean, you could say that about any car company, I guess. But you got to remember, Honda has those. They have them add-ons like crazy.
I had no idea, actually. Never had a Honda.
Dude, Honda is nuts with what they have and like the businesses that they run. Like I remember I almost got a job at Honda, and man, it's their category is crazy.
All right. Well, that's Nintendo. Lastly, obviously, right? We have to go to the GOAT. If PC gaming is a vehicle, Ham, which one is it?
Man, this is gonna sound real fucking lame, but it's Ford.
Get the fuck out of here. It's not an American car. No.
It
Fuck
is
no. No.
Ford.
Ham? Okay. Explain yourself. Because that's just dumb. Why is it Ford?
Because it can be a bottom barrel vehicle. It can be just
This is PC according to Ham Solo, y'all.
exactly because people are still using parts from back and then for some of their PCs.
Oh my goodness.
Tell me I'm lying.
Ah.
People still using parts from back then.
Yeah, that's the meme, right? Most PC gamers using ancient parts. That's the
Yeah,
meme.
you know I'm
This
not.
is messed up.
And also, I also choose Ford because they're the ones
Yes,
that
Seawolf.
started this motherfucker. First car company.
Okay,
Oh.
you know what? That's actually that's a decent one. That's decent.
And then you have the unnecessary with Ford, right? You have the different type of Mustangs. You have the Celine Mustang. You have all these different type of Mustangs. You got the Shelby Cobra, which is like to me is like what you would call like Asus ROG Strix or something
Yeah.
like that, right? And then fucking you also have like the GT fucking 40.
Here's the first Ford, the first vehicle. There you go, Ham.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
PC
first
right
PC
there,
right there.
motherfucker.
That's the first
Which
PC
had
right
the
there. Back.
first game.
Look at that IBM.
Yes, yes, Oshes, good shout. Oshes says, I think it's like American muscle never goes out of style and the most modded cars in history. 1 billion%. You know what, Ham? You saved it. You saved it there at the end. You saved it there
No,
at the
I
end by
nailed all
saying,
of it. I nailed
by
all
saying,
of it.
this guy. I nailed all of it. All right.
I
All right.
did.
Oh, Mitsubishi's PC gaming. Nah, man. Nah, 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 nah. But yeah. So Ham, that was a nice little game we played there. We need to do that more often. We need to do it more often. Anyways, we need to get into the actual discussion here about the summer showcase that was announced for June. Yeah, June. Before my audio cut out. Ham, do you want to discuss it or do you want to get right into it? What the
Wait,
hell?
what are we talking about?
The summer showcase.
Oh yeah, sure, we can talk about it. I don't care.
Alright. So the Xbox Showcase 2025 will be live streamed from 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK, which means 8 p.m. my time, followed by a second showcase focused on Outer Worlds 2. The game showcase would include, and I quote,
Stop you right there.
looks. Okay, all right, go ahead.
One thing I wanted to lay out that I'm a little not happy about because I was kind of I was like saying this from since last year. I wanted to go to the Xbox showcase,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
you did say
But
that.
it's only digital this year.
Yeah.
Only. You
Oh, it's
cannot
only
go to it.
digital, just like
Yeah.
Nintendo. Ba-dum,
There's no show to
mhm.
go to at all. And this in my opinion is scary because the Xbox was kind of like the last bastion that really like went out and still had a showcase where you could go shake hands. Like PlayStation stopped doing it. Nintendo doesn't really do it. And PlayStation had it. Or I mean not PlayStation, Xbox had it still going on there. And they had their showcase last year that was big time. And kind of stinks that they don't have that. That's just one less thing to look forward to as a fan. And I'm assuming
Yeah.
if they're not doing it this year, they're saving a ton of money. And they're having one of the bigger years that they've had in a long time. If they're not doing it now, why the fuck would they do it?
So you think this is the end of physical showcases from Xbox?
Uh, it could be. I feel like they're gonna have more of a showcase that's directed toward because if you seen any of like the like finer details, it was like we are gonna be celebrating a 10-year fan fest kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're doing that, maybe they're thinking about doing something where they invite people to stuff, or maybe you can sign up to be invited to something like that, but it's not gonna be like a showcase kind of thing anymore. And to me, that's just another thing that you can kind of mark off as you know just pure fandom. No matter if you're more Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation, it was cool going to somebody else's event or something like that and just kind of kicking it just because it happens to be video games. Now it seems like it's going to be more strategic on how they invite people. That kind of stinks.
It stinks, but so many people have been pointing out for years now that it's actually a good thing. It's actually a bad thing that Xbox has been like so open and maybe a bit too communicative with the gaming community.
I think every business should be communicative. I don't think every business needs to be just constantly outside for anybody at any time.
which is what they are
But
doing.
I mean, that's kind of what Xbox was doing while nobody else was kind of doing that, right? But
Mm-hmm.
maybe Xbox was outside a little too much, but I I don't find that to be a good enough excuse for others never to come out. I feel like
Mm,
that's weird, especially seeing that we have a history within video games of people being outside. People coming to those events. Those are big moments where somebody would just walk on the stage and say two words and walk off. Like that's not going to be the same feeling sitting at home.
that's true.
And, and
That's
and
true.
and being able to walk through the crowd and just randomly run into somebody and have a conversation with them, that's not going to happen. I think it's weird that we're like, oh man, these businesses don't have to cater to us. Who are we? And it's like, we're the fucking customers. When are y'all gonna realize that? Like, we go to a basketball game. If we end up at the on the basketball floor at the end of the game, right? Because that happens sometimes, especially after a big win.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it crazy for somebody to want like a high five or to sign an autograph? It's not saying that they have to do it, but the opportunity is there. That's all I want is the opportunity. Well, if I walk up to that person and I ask them for an autograph and they're like, get the fuck out of my face, I would have rather had the opportunity to hear that and then be like, oh man, that player is actually an asshole than to go the rest of my life thinking that that player is amazing and just lying to myself. You see what I'm kind of saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little bit
I
of
can
extra
see I can see the angle.
transparency to me is good. A
Yeah.
level of transparency. You don't have to be completely transparent, but a level of transparency just to realize, hey, you're still a human,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm paying a company for acting human is great. But you want, but there's a lot of people out here that want these studios to act like they're AI and
Mm-hmm.
then complain when they get something that's AI. And it's just
Okay, so
like,
you're just
wait,
asking for balance.
I am essentially, yeah, man, absolutely.
Let's hope. Let's hope they figure out the middle ground. Because,
I mean,
like we've said,
to me, it's
go
like
ahead.
going to a. To me, it's like fucking if a rapper were to come out with an album but never do concerts, never, ever. I never want to do a
That
concert because I don't
sucks.
need anybody to see me.
That
They can hear all
sucks.
my music, and it's like cool. You can. The music is great, sure, but don't you think you would just build more of a relationship if you just stood in the middle of the stage? Nobody can even touch you. Nobody can do anything to you, but you just spoke to everybody on the stage. That 30,000, 40,000 people that night aren't going to go back home and tell everybody how they felt and continue to endorse who you are. To me, that's just basic marketing.
Yeah. It would change lives. That's why remember when they said E3 is gonna go, we're like, it's fine. Someone is going to replace it because no matter how good these digital presentations are, we still crave that human contact. We still crave that human touch. That
100%.
is what we are. Yeah. There's no way to pretend like it doesn't make a difference. I'm hoping you're right, and this is like a one-off, and for some reason it comes back. But to your point that you stated earlier, Ham, this has been one of their strongest years, and they've decided to do this. Like this would be a very nice time to trot out. Sarah Bond and everyone, and just be like, patting each other on the back because they cooked this year. So far, at least they've been cooking. And
Man, if I was one of these companies, I'd be trying to put on like a concert. No, I'm dead serious. I'd want
considering
to
how
put on a
well, yeah.
concert, invite a few dope musicians, like, like four musicians, like three or four musicians that are into gaming, so I don't have to pay them way too crazy like they want to do it, right?
Hmm.
I'd have a show and then have some of the showcase
Make
of
an
the games.
event out
Whether
of it.
it's I'm sorry, what?
You'd want to make an event out of it, not just make announcements
Absolutely.
and then bounce. You'd want to have like the announcements, yes, right? For people like Loke that can't go, you can click on YouTube, you watch the announcements. That's what Xbox has. Awesome. But also have this thing in person that has like a 2 day duration where people will have like booths, and maybe there's a show, maybe there's two shows, like you said, with your artists and whatever. And then yeah, like South of Midnight, if we could have like the people that performed the music for South of Midnight have like a mini concert of theirs at
Oh
this
my
Xbox
god.
showcase, for
Have
example.
a live like blues band out there making that, bro. That would be so tough.
Yeah,
Like
that'd
to
be
do
nice.
something like that once a year. Um and just it doesn't even have to be Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo. I think it'd be cool if it was just like a compilation, kind of like E3, right? Just like a
Yeah,
compilation of different people that want to be involved in that, and just make it an annual thing
making a
that people
celebration
can
of video games.
absolutely, man, and have concessions and like it'd just be great.
Instead, what we're going to get is, and I quote, the showcase will include looks at upcoming titles from across our first party studios, in addition to incredible new titles from our third party partners across the globe. The Outer Worlds 2 Direct will reveal new gameplay details and developer insights straight from the people making the sequel to the award winning first person sci fi RPG. Obsidian debuted their first trailer. Okay, we're going to see that later. Xbox upcoming first party games include Fable, Gears of War E-Day, Clockwork Revolution, forgot about that one. Perfect Dark, State of Decay 3, Everwild, and Marvel's Blade. X- Xbox recently confirmed that Fable has been delayed to 2026. Xbox's June 8th showcase date puts it within the same window as Summer Game Fest, which is due to kick off with a 2 hour kickoff show on Friday at its usual venue of YouTube Theater in Los Angeles, California, with the spectacular new video game announcements, surprises, reveals. So, Ham, I guess you could go to the YouTube Theater and watch Jeff Keighley. Hang out there. There might be some good stuff at Jeff Keighley's thing. What do you think?
No, I'm not saying that that's a bad idea either. It's just I wanted to go to specifically the Xbox thing just because that's the one I was talking about last year. Um,
Okay.
I wouldn't be afraid to go. I wouldn't be against going to the Summer Game Fest though, for sure. It's just not this year. I'm not. My plan was to go to see the Xbox showcase this year.
Someone is a big Xbox fan. Jeez.
Well, I went to Jeff Keighley show last year. I went to Summer Game or not Summer Game Fest. I went to the Game
Game
Awards,
Awards.
right? So
Yeah.
I'm clearly not against going to any of the shows. It's just like when I have something that I want to see in particular, I'm not gonna pay the same amount of money to not get what I want.
Okay.
And
For
but keep in mind, I do think that this show for Keeley's, whether it's the early summer show or the late show, I feel like it's gonna be a pretty good one this year. There's so many games this year. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah. After Jeff Keighley elected Astrobot, he lost me last year, man. Like, well, it actually wasn't last year. He lost me with the Hogwarts Legacy thing. When that thing
Yeah, that
happened,
was pretty bad.
yeah, I just gave up on anything with Jeff Keighley having, like, I wouldn't say gravitas, but just like honesty behind it. You know, I can't I can't pretend.
I don't really go to the show to see him though, right?
No,
Like
no,
I
I
go to
get
the
that. Yeah,
show to
yeah.
see to like just be part of the show and then also
Hang out with
to
other creators and people in the community.
absolutely like
Yeah,
having dinner and hanging out with like Hip Hop Gamer and Lemon and like
Lemon.
that was
Yeah, I
that
I
was
uh, just
amazing.
I'm just trying to imagine having dinner with Lemon. It must be amazing.
I
Like,
had
there's
dinner with Lemon a few different times.
I
Yeah.
don't think there's any space to get bored and then reach for your phone and see what's happening on Twitter, because Lemon is always popping off. Like, I haven't
You'd be
seen Lemon
surprised.
just chilling.
He's much more quiet in person,
Oh
especially
my
with a
god,
plate of food in front of him.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see Lemon just chill, just relax. Ah, anyways, welcome in PS5 blows, says support. Sup PS5 blows. Why'd you hate the PlayStation? I don't understand. I don't get it. Anyways, Ham, let's. Do you have any predictions for what's going to what's going to
Outer
be
Worlds too, I
announced
think.
besides Outer Worlds 2?
I
Captain
think they're gonna.
Obvious over
I think they're
here.
gonna talk more about Fable. I think they know that like Fable was something that a lot of people were looking forward to, and it getting pushed back is kind of a big deal. But we want to see like what we're looking forward to. So I'm expecting like some sort of gameplay with Fable. I'd also expect to see some gameplay of can you scroll down just a little bit? I don't remember the name. I'm trying to remember. State of Decay. State of Decay. I don't need you.
States of
Anymore.
Decay,
State of
Clockwork
Decay. Yep.
Revolution. For me, it's Clockwork Revolution. I'm very
I'm
interested in
definitely
Clockwork
expecting to
Revolution.
see some Perfect Dark. If I
Hmm.
was gonna guess about something that's not on the list, because I think that it's easy for me just to look at the list and just read it off. If I
Yeah.
was gonna say something that's not on the list that maybe show up, Arc 2 is possibly gonna show up there.
Hmm.
I don't think it's coming out this year because of Studio Wildcard is Studio Wildcard.
I don't
But
understand.
also
What does that
I
mean?
think
What does
I
that
think
mean?
Studio Wildcard always finds issues. Whether it's
Are you,
with something around them or with themselves internal. Like
okay.
that studio is always facing some sort of problem.
But you don't think they're lazy. You just think it's bad luck that always
No,
happens
they're
to them.
definitely not lazy. They're definitely always busy. But it's just like they're not always busy with or better yet, they overpromise. That's
And
their
then they
problem.
want to deliver what they overpromised on.
Exactly. So then they're constantly delaying.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's them. So Arc 2 might show up. Remember, Vin Diesel's supposed to be in that game, so they want to make that game look as good as possible, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Contraband. I'm expecting to see
Yeah. We
something
still haven't
from
seen
that
anything.
game. Still haven't seen anything since like 2023 on
The
that.
only thing I remember about Contraband is that there's a Land Rover Defender in the trailer. That got me very hyped.
Let's
That's the
see
only thing I remember.
another. I'm gonna keep saying this until the game happens.
which is
Wu-Tang.
oh god, Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang Clan game, damn it.
Okay.
By Brass Lion. I'm still waiting on that sucker to show its face. Supposedly, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. There's those two.
Big Mad Mo, welcome in, brother.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I think that'll be hidden in there, but I just don't know right now. I think that's it.
All right. All right. For me, it's Clockwork Revolution and Gears of War. Um, I'm very sad about the fact that Gears of War kind of took a break after Gears of War 3, and I'm hoping it goes back to what it used to be with E-Day. Don't be like that, Mo. Don't be like that. Come on. He's not a hater. He just criticizes Xbox. That's all. That's all he does. PS5 Glow says the Wu Tang game has to be getting somewhere by now. Yeah, yeah. It's there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that maybe we might get to see. Maybe. Ham, I had to say it, right? I have to ask if you think it's going to happen. I have to do it. Do you think they're going to announce more Xbox exclusives going to PlayStation at this showcase?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they already came out and said what they're gonna say. Why would they cower from it now, right?
Mm,
So I mean that's the only way you'd earn respect, right? I mean, hey man, you said what you said. Now you gotta stand on business. It just kind of is.
you have to follow through now.
You gotta follow through with what you said. I think that may happen, but I don't think that that's something that they're like super duper focused on, right? I feel like it's
that's
just
true.
like if it's coming over there, it's coming over there. But
It's
I'm
just
kind
more
of with
revenue.
I'm kind of with Big Mad Mo on it, where it's kind of like, who cares? Like at this
Who
point,
cares?
at this point, it doesn't matter. It just kind of doesn't. Like we already see the writing on the wall. They literally told us the writing on the wall, and then they wrote it down.
So we need to believe them. So when Nintendo says it's $10 per game, stop asking them all the time, constantly. Is it still going to be $80? Because that's what's
Well,
going
I
to happen.
mean, I feel like that's like asking a meteorologist, "Hey, is the sun going to be out tomorrow?" Like
Well,
why are we like once you ask if it's gonna rain, hey, once you ask if there's if there's any earthquakes or tornadoes or something, why ask something that you already know?
it's going to happen.
It's almost like if you were that like terrible or not, I shouldn't say terrible, but I should say if you were that person in a relationship and you continuously ask your significant other if you're cheating when you already know they are,
God.
but you just keep asking them, "Hey, are you cheating? Are you cheating?"
Wow.
And you're just like, and they even tell you, "Yes, I
Oof.
am." And then tomorrow you ask me the exact same question, even
Same
though I
question.
just told you, yo, I am. Hell, you even have me on maps. You know where I'm at. But you still asking me if I'm, come on now. So like to me, it's a worthless thing to be worried about. The only thing to me that I'm thinking about when I'm seeing these Xbox showcases is
Mhm.
I'm thinking about third party games. And I'm thinking about if they're going to be playing. That's what I'm usually worried about. That's what I'm thinking of. Is where is it best to buy this game?
Is it
So I already know
Steam
Game
or is it
Pass has me.
Xbox?
I already know Game Pass has me, and I already know I'm not unsubscribing from Game Pass. I'm happy with Game Pass. Game Pass has
Yes,
been
they're easy. Oh,
feeding
snap.
me like crazy this year.
Gobbling ham.
Feasting.
The man will
I've
not
been
say gobbling.
feasting. I've been feasting, sir.
All right.
But yeah, so I mean, I know for the games I'm not sure of, but I still want to try out that are coming out for Xbox are going to be there. I'm just like, when Assassin's Creed Shadows came out, I was like, man, I really wish this was play anywhere.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of stuff that I kind of think about when it comes to like negative spin on anything at an Xbox show at this point. I'm no longer being like, oh, is this going to come to PlayStation? Oh my God, what's going to happen with this? Who's the studio? Like, no, now it's like, hey, what's my access going to be like to this thing? Because that's what this company has become, an access granter.
Yeah. Well, if you look at it that way, that we could say that they're all doing that, right?
But we already know PlayStation and Nintendo are very limited with
Oh my God. Ham, look at the screen. Look at the screen right now. Oh my God. The biggest hater says he's loving a PlayStation.
Is he actually? Is Oshus actually
an
playing
Xbox.
South of Midnight?
Yep. Oh my Lord. Look at this, Ham.
I
What
feel
the
like
hell?
he's trolling right now. I don't feel like he's
Listen, you know who's not trolling Ham? And I don't know if you value his opinion or not, but Asmongold
I
played the
don't
game.
not value it, but I don't value it either. It's just kind of like another
Okay.
person.
Okay, so Asmongold was playing the game, and he actually was like, "Yo, if anyone's hating on the game, I don't know, I don't know what to tell you," because even he was like, "No, this is an above average game. It's not like game of the year or whatever, right?
No,
But
yeah,
it's not like Poison."
yeah. No, I gave it it's funny. Earlier, I said I gave it a 7.9, but I didn't tell you. I didn't say the actual score that I ended up giving. Instead of a 7.9, I ended up bumping it up to an 8.4 because the story was that good. The combat still kept it from being close to 9,
Mhm.
but like the game is definitely something that I'm happy I played, and I did not feel like at any point that my time was being taken advantage.
So if there was an opportunity,
Like as soon as I was getting
time,
frustrated, it was anytime I started to get frustrated, it was over.
Mhm. Okay.
Does that make sense?
What did frustrate you? Now I'm curious. What did frustrate you from South of Midnight?
Just like just some of the moments within the fights. Two-Toe Tom probably pissed me off the most. Just because I just didn't quite understand how to properly dodge
Mhm.
when he would like try to eat you, you know? And there's also
When he
a
tried to
glitch.
gobble you. When he tried to gobble you.
Sure, Loke. Okay. But there's also a glitch in that level where if you get too close to him as the fight's kind of transitioning, it'll clip you under his foot and you can't move. And it happened
So it wasn't just me.
Exactly. It happened
That
to me
did
in
happen
two
to me
different
too.
parts of the fight. And it
It happened
pissed me
to me
off.
too. Yeah. But then after you figure out that okay, that's probably a problem. Honestly, I did it like 2 or 3 times on purpose. Because I wanted to make sure that was happening as a glitch, or was it just a once off thing? But it seems to be an actual problem
Yeah,
with that specific
that's
boss.
an actual problem, and I didn't like that. But and to kind of say to kind of agree with I think it was it Ray Chi that said it? I'm trying to remember. No, it was Fuzzy Tomato that said sounds like it's a skill issue. It might be, but I didn't enjoy it. Right? So
Which is the whole point of what we do.
exactly, right? I mean, I mean, it doesn't matter if I look at somebody's stream and they're fucking nailing it, getting everything perfect. That doesn't matter to me. It's like I'm rating it on my fun, not somebody else's. So maybe it was a skill issue, but I know for a
Otherwise,
fact that I've played much harder games than South of Midnight. So I feel like I have some validity with being frustrated. I might not be totally right. I might not be doing it the way it's meant to be done, but I do feel like, hey, I'm not loving this part as much as I should, so I graded it lower. But in the parts where I graded it higher, man, that story in the game, I mean, I can't emphasize enough how TV shows and video games aren't really made like this. And what I mean by that is there were so many TV shows or movies while we were growing up, Lo, that we could watch as a child and then watch as an adult and get two totally different messages.
yeah.
And I feel like South at Midnight, I could give it to my daughter. She could extrapolate some of those like super serious moment feels, sure, because I think anybody can understand, oh, that's not good, right?
Yeah.
But like some of like the nuance situations,
The morals of the stories that are being told as well.
the morals behind it. I remember just being a kid and how much I allowed myself to entirely learn a song and then not understand what any of it meant until I got older. And I was like, yo, I was singing that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this game has that because it has the joyous songs that have some fucked up messages.
And not just joyous songs with fucked up messages. These are stories that are captivating when you're a child and also if you're an adult. Because the writing nowadays, it seems to be kind of stunted, to which it in a way that if you're a child, this story can only be enjoyed by a child, or this story can only be enjoyed by a black person, or this story can only be enjoyed by a tall person, and all this other stuff. South of Midnight Story, in my opinion, and obviously you agree with me, Ham, it's so relatable. It's so well written, well paced, and the ending, it's the payoff at the ending is so good that I think it transcends any barriers that people might try to put up for it. Obviously, we're not going to talk about that ending because people are still playing it and spoilers and all this other stuff. But I completely agree with you, Ham, on how this story is definitely one of the better written stories, especially in video games. Definitely. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Dayreezy. He said, sign the Oshus boycott petition if you haven't. Ham, would you sign a Oshus boycott petition? Seawolf Gaming, cheers. Have a good one.
I'm not signing anything from anybody from South Africa.
No, Dayreezy, right? I'm guessing Dayreezy is American. But Dayreezy is saying sign the Oshus boycott petition. So to boycott Oshus.
Oh, to boycott Oshus. I
Yes.
thought this was a Oshus petition to
No.
boycott something.
No.
Oh yeah, let's get this motherfucker out of here.
Oh shit. That's ruthless, Em. That is freaking ruthless.
Nah,
Man.
this is cool.
Uh, Big Mad Mo says he beat him without taking damage. Nice. Nice. Uh, see,
Yeah, I
what's
was
this?
getting my
No,
ass beat. I
I,
don't know,
I,
like I said, there might have been like some sort of glitch there though. Like I was saying, like it felt like there was absolutely no way for me to dodge the bite, and it's crazy because like his mouth would be wide open, and I'm like sliding like in between, and like I'm out of the range to get hit, but I'm still getting hit, and I was just like, this is like, I just don't get it. So I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe I just didn't. I either didn't understand it or something wasn't working right. Because like I said, I kept getting clipped into his foot, and I couldn't. And like no matter how I moved, jumped, or whatnot, I wouldn't. I like literally wouldn't move. You know what I mean?
how I escaped it was to always, instead of trying to be to his right or his left, just sit in the middle, wait for him to make the animation of either chucking the arms or trying to bite like all the way in or just bashing. And then only making my move after I know what animation is going to be done. That's what I did.
Mine was only the biting that I was having issues with. That was the only part, just the biting.
Okay. Okay. Vince says so Ushers is listen, I'm not gonna read that, man. We're not trying to get political today. We are not trying to get political today. All right, so Xbox's big summer showcase. Ham, will you be watching this? And will you also watch the Outer Worlds direct?
Oh, 100%. I'm planning on playing Outer Worlds pretty much as soon as that gets announced. Um,
Oh, the first one. You
I,
haven't played the first one.
I played a little bit of it.
Didn't finish it.
No, it
It is a
that
bit
definitely
long,
didn't finish it. I I think it's kind of a long game, but
like
I
35. I
don't.
think about 30 hours, 35.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, I can get that knocked out, but like I just haven't really had the enthusiasm to play it, and I've always heard that it's a good game,
Yeah,
but I
it's
just
very good.
at no point was I too enthusiastic about it, even after trying it for a little while, because I got about 5 hours in, and I think I just had other games to play at the time, and I just kind of
You just
meandered
weren't
away
feeling
from it.
it.
I didn't know, yeah, but keep in mind I meandered from Cyberpunk like 3 times, so it
Which is
has
one of
nothing
the
to do
best
with how
RPGs of all time.
exactly. It has nothing to do with how great the game is. It's just sometimes I see a piece of candy and I walk away and I forget.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, Parvati is Bay, Big Mad Mo. You're right. You're right. Fuzzy says don't play Outer Worlds immediately after Mass Effect. Why? What's the problem? I don't
I'm
understand.
just assuming it's a lot of dialogue.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's definitely a lot of dialogue. Definitely. Lots of reading as well. I mean, it's it's Obsidian. So it's kind of expected.
Yeah,
Um
I'm not gonna lie, it bothered me
Avowed
in Avowed. Yeah,
was too much.
it was, man. It was way too much. Well, it was for the sensation that it was giving. Like to me, it just wasn't. I didn't like Sap at all. So having to listen to Sap all the time just made me frustrated.
PS5 blows. Oh wow. That's a hell of a take. Says I can't get into Cyberpunk. Honestly, wish I didn't buy it. That is a take. And on that note, we're
I don't
going to
think
move
that's
on.
crazy. I could see
We're
why
gonna move
somebody would
on.
say that.
All right. I can't, but okay. Here's Outer Worlds 11 minutes of exclusive gameplay. Here we go.
Welcome to our latest IGN First.
Obviously, Obviously, it's from the best gaming website on the planet, right? IGN, obviously.
And it's all about The Outer Worlds 2. This is the
I'm
very
sorry,
first
was
look at
Loke
its
just
gameplay to
choking
kick
live
off.
right there? My
What?
bad. Were you just choking live right there?
No, I wasn't joking.
Oh, I heard a lot of choking. My bad.
Oh, that's what you mean by Okay.
For
All right.
exclusive coverage
All right.
throughout the month of April. I got to visit the developers at Obsidian to see the game itself, interview them about how it was made, and get insight on a ton of its new features. So keep an eye out for our deep dives in
All right. So just tell me to pause when you want him.
the coming weeks. But for now, enjoy this look at a quest that takes you through the N-Ray facility, where you'll see many of its new gameplay systems in action.
I hope this isn't the walk speed.
Yeah, this is not the walk speed. This is the person playing walking for some reason. Just fucking run, bro.
I'm not loving the way this person's playing this already.
Yeah.
When I want to see gameplay, I want to see you go fuck shit up. Like, I don't want you to just look around like a fucking person that's never played
Before
a
it
game
can
before.
become
All right. Hold on. Hold on. Looks like we're about to see some fights. No? What the fuck? Okay, so it's stealth.
Oh, that's dope.
Ooh, that was nice. That was
Oh, the
nice.
unspeakable brings
Okay,
them.
here we go. Not bad. So your companion
Man.
stayed in stealth when you were in stealth. That's not bad.
This
Fucking
person's
hell.
driving me insane.
Alright, hold on. Let me try and find it.
Now this is just sloppy. If I wasn't already here to kill all these
Don't
traitors,
yes.
like how
I'd be forced to use
cinematic
one or
they're
two as
trying
an
to
example
make
to
it.
the rest.
Yeah, it's not cinematic, but that's what they do. Yeah, you're right. Here's some dialogue, Ham. Since you don't like dialogue,
Embarrassing.
just
There's a
to...
cult
No, this
behind
looks
you.
dope.
Wait, surely she isn't with you. Fine. Just please keep her away from me. The crazed people like your friend here have been sowing destruction throughout the range for days. I've seen few firsthand, but that isn't because they've gone. Rather, I believe they have become visibility deficient.
7GN, stop it, Big Bad Mom. Stop it. They don't know how to play
There's no
games.
such thing as
Oh my God.
invisibility. I can only theorize that their visual forms were sent out of phase when they haphazardly tampered with pressurized N-rays.
Their actions are inexcusable. Science allows us to unveil the wonder of the rifts. We do not disrespect it. Now, is there any science around here we can use to find and kill them?
It's a shame the facility is in shambles. We have an N-ray scanner device that may render the cultists far easier for one to locate.
Nope, keep
The scanner
going.
is an optical device designed to detect electrical
Wait, you wanna keep
signals
watching
as
this?
the N-rays
Yeah.
given off by all living beings.
Alright, fine.
Visible or
This
not,
motherfucker
the
thought he was
cultists still
torturing
give
me.
off N-rays. They were stored nearby.
Tortured
But with the damage
himself.
to the facility, you'll likely need to use the maintenance vent on the
shit.
wall there behind the screen to get anywhere near it. Don't worry. I'll just be here in my deepening puddle of blood.
I'm sure someone thought that was fun.
My
Alright.
God, just the way he swings the camera
Yeah.
pisses me off.
Yeah. Alright, here
Bro,
we
move.
go. Today, Junior.
Enemy spotted.
Alright, here we go. They're in stealth mode,
Oh, nice.
night vision.
Homicide always cheers me up.
I like it.
That's nice. You put the mask on and take it off. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm on my future shit, man. Stop.
Night vision.
Man, let's go.
It's actually pretty
Fuck it,
cool.
man, stop.
thought that was gonna turn into like a whole sequence, but back to talking some more.
Is it you
And
presiding,
there's
Bishop?
no more fighting after that.
I'm sorry, I haven't had time to clean up. It's
Alright, whatever though. Ham,
No way.
thoughts?
No way that's it.
That's it, bro. Like from here, it's just more talking, walking around, collecting shit, uh, pressing buttons, and there, end of the showcase. There you go.
Wow.
Mo, I need you to stop talking crap on IGN. Stop it. Go ahead, Ham.
No, this deserves it, man. They made that segment. Just look at this shit.
They did not sell the game.
No. I felt like the dude was moving in slow motion the entire
In quicksand.
bro. Like it had me sitting there like, man, I hope the game ain't like this. That's not a good showing of a game if you have me hoping it's not like what I'm seeing. So I just don't get it. Well, I get what the person's trying to accomplish, and they're doing a really bad job. They're trying to be like, oh, I'm making sure I show you everything. You can see everything nice and smoothly. But it's like, bro, I could always slow down the video if I need to see something. I need you to give me an idea of what this would be like if I was playing it or if any regular person was playing it.
Yeah, regular.
I can
gamers
tell you
don't
what,
play
a regular person is not doing what he's doing right now.
Yep. No one does that. Maybe one of the developers that's very proud about the assets that they put together and they want to make sure everyone sees it, sure.
Why is he moving like that?
He's in stealth mode. See?
I get that, but I don't understand why the right stick will not wake anybody up. Why do you need to look around at a half a mile an hour?
Oh my god, Fuzzy, stop it. You see what Fuzzy's saying now?
Reviewers don't play games like normal people. That's why most of them are used.
Damn.
Yeah, Loke. What was that game that you said that you played before the show? You're right. I think he's on to something. Based on what you said you've been playing lately, I think he's right.
Wait, I was playing South of Midnight. That's the last game I played.
No.
Which
at the
other
beginning
game?
of the show, I said what I've been playing lately, and you said nothing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Ham figures himself a comedian, ladies and gentlemen. Please clap in the comment section.
I didn't say I was any of that, but hey, if you feel like that I'm fucking cracking some good jokes.
Reezy says the gameplay was sweaty butt cheeks. Someone else
Look
should
at this shit. Who moves like this?
Yeah.
It took him that long to figure out if the door was locked. This man, oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Reezy thinks you're funny, Ham. You gotta play a game like a normal person to get any useful information for viewers. Yeah, I would say that's probably the way to go. But unfortunately, they elected not to do that. So Ham, are you more or less hyped after seeing that video for not for South of Midnight, Outer Worlds too?
I'm the exact same way I feel about it before I even watched.
Are you saying are you saying IGN didn't do anything to move the
They
needle?
did nothing for me right there. They did nothing for me. Because as cool as some of the things that was happening were in there, I was a little uncertain if certain aspects were part of the game or if it was just due to horrible gameplay.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's leave IGN for a bit. We'll come back to IGN next week or something. I don't know. Next time we did touch on the whole Nintendo thing, but this specific angle
Come
we didn't
on.
get into. Analysis firm lowers Switch 2 forecast over tariff pricing concerns. Still predicts the fastest selling console ever. So we're not an analysis firm on TSWS, obviously, but as we can see here from DFC Intelligence on VGC, which has been covering games and digital media industry since 1994, has published its updated insights on the Switch 2's launch. The firm had previously forecast Nintendo that Nintendo would sell 17 million Switch 2 consoles by the end of 2025, but it has now revised this down to 15 million consoles due to concerns over pricing in the wake of the US President Trump wave of tariffs. While Nintendo has said Trump's tariffs had no effect on the 450 price point set for Switch 2, the fact the company has delayed Switch 2 pre-orders in the US because it wants to assess the potential impact of tariffs on evolving market conditions means a price increase in the US hasn't been ruled out. Um,
And
they
essentially what that means is they're seeing how much more dick they can fit in the con.
Maybe they'll give you guys the chat button for free. Who knows? The quotes
Nope.
contain.
That's the come button.
Oh damn! Ham, okay, okay, okay. Not bad today. Today you're not bad. With tariffs and uncertain pricing, Nintendo may choose to scale back its manufacturing, DFC Intelligence said. If prices increase substantially due to tariffs, a significant portion of prospective buyers are likely to hold back on a purchase until prices come down. This situation is changing and will be closely monitored as DFC regularly updates its forecast throughout the year. Long term, the upper limit for hardware sales for the Switch 2 is enormous, it said. The Switch 2 continues an established system, and the ability to act as a portable device taps into Nintendo's rich history of offering portable console experiences in terms of hardware unit sales. All right, Ham, uh, what are your thoughts on this analysis made by this company that's been looking into video games since the 90s, early 90s?
Yo, just because I'm not loving everything that Nintendo's doing doesn't mean they ain't finna slide to the Like I'm just saying. This is still sought after. I even still want the console. I just don't want it now. Right? And I think that's really the only caveat for me personally. But I don't think that's a caveat for a lot of people. Especially seeing the way people bought shit during scalper season of 2020 and 2021. I think this thing could still sell like crazy. Um, Fastest console ever to sell. That's a big statement to me. I don't count it out to be able to happen, but I am a little uncertain. And I feel like they're more or less standing on business than they are telling the complete truth.
Telling what?
I feel like they're standing on business more than they are telling the complete truth. Like I think
Ah,
whoever is in charge of the analysis, I feel like is probably sweating.
hoping that they're right on this one.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. I feel like they're standing on business more than they are telling the truth. Like they're just like, I'm not changing my answer. It is what it is. And like, I mean, this is much more expensive. The games are more expensive. The services are needed more than ever before. The like half of the functionality of the stuff that they showed at the showcase is behind a paywall. I don't think that the analysis people thought of all of that before they made the first forecast. And now that this is the real forecast, now they're like, let's just stand on what we believe because it is still possible. It's just I don't know, man. I don't know. Selling this console for more than a digital PS5 or Xbox Series X is interesting, and I'm excited to see how it goes. Especially seeing that I'm not needing one day one, I get to just sit back and watch and see people either be extremely happy or extremely disappointed.
Oh my god. Richie says a friend of mine just lost his job and he will still get the Switch day one. Now
Oh yeah,
that is commitment. What? You think
you
that's
say
normal, Ham?
what? Like that's crazy. But have you ever seen motherfuckers that stand in the Jordan line, bro? Come on,
They're not doing well, but they still found a way to put together $1,000 to buy the next Jordans.
bro. When you need it, you need it.
I guess. I guess.
I'm gonna be saving my money for Project Keenan.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
more excited about Project Keenan than I am with Project Paywall right now.
Project Paywall. You know that Project Keenan you're going to have to pay to use. You are aware of this. Xbox is not going to give you a free console, Ham.
Well, you have to pay for the console. It's what you have to pay for after you buy the console.
Okay. So you're talking about
And
the
you know
value of.
what? For the Project Keenan to
Mhm.
get better resolutions than I did in maybe Xbox One games, I won't have to pay an upcharge for that.
This is the way. This is the way. Xbox has ruined an entire generation. Well, some might say ruined, some might say open the eyes of. Just depends on perspective. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. We're all now used to, if you bought the game, you just get the automatic upgrade. Unless you're on PlayStation as well, because PlayStation charges for the upgrade.
Dairies is gonna be like, every time I hit the C button, it says nut. What's going on?
Means cash.
Nut, 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 nut.
Uh, should have been an F button for foot. Uh, we still don't know the real price with the whole tariff. Bowser just pulled a Don metric. Yeah, see, Wolf. Go ahead, bots. Buy Nintendo. Sure is worth it more than Xbox. I don't know. I don't know. For me, if I had to make a choice
It's
between
not.
Nintendo, it's not worth the Xbox or it's not worth the Nintendo. Which one are you? Are you?
If you're an Xbox fan, then I don't know why you would go to Nintendo to enjoy Xbox. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Ah, yes, yeah. And you'd also miss out on Xbox's biggest accessory, which is Game Pass. It makes no sense. It wouldn't make any sense if you were to do that. You don't get Nintendo Magic on Xbox. Seawolf, the last time I had a Nintendo console, it was still 1990 something, and I've been doing just fine on in terms of gaming on my end. All right, so that's the news. That's the latest news from Nintendo. Some bonus news. The BAFTA Game Awards happened. Ham, did you watch them?
No, I didn't watch it, but I did hear that Hellblade 2 got like an innovation award. And there's another game that I heard about on there. I forgot.
Tales
Balatro, I believe. Balatro won some sort of award as well. I don't remember.
Tales of Kinzer Zhao as well.
I,
He has the full roll call. That's why Seawolf at the beginning was talking about Astro Goat. Best animation, Astrobot. Artistic achievements, never. Audio achievement, Astrobot. Which I think is wild. I think that's wild. Audio should go to Hellblade, in my opinion. Anyways, best game, Astrobot. Best British game, thank goodness you're here. Best debut game, Balatro. Best evolving game, Vampire Survivors. Best family game, Astrobot. Fellowship, I don't even know what that is. Yoko Shimomura. Game Game Beyond Entertainment, Tales of Kizera Zao. Best Game Design, Astrobot. Best Multiplayer, Helldivers 2. Best Music, Helldivers 2. This is wild. Best Narrative, Metaphor Rifantatio. Best New Intellectual Property, Still Wakes the Deep. Best Performer in a Leading Role, Alex Newman in Still Wakes the Deep. Best Performer in a Supporting Role, Karen Dunbar in Still Wakes the Deep. Best Technical Achievement, Senua Saga Hellblade 2. Anything there stick out to you, Ham?
Still Wakes got a lot of awards.
I'm sorry, man. Like when I saw this, I was like, yeah, this is why, right? This is why we don't respect these institutions that uh, they like pop up and say that we're not going to do awards, our own awards show. That's why this is why we don't care. Helldivers cannot win Best Music 2025. Hell, that makes no sense at
Yeah,
all.
that is kind of weird. Like it does have some kind of cool like action while you're playing music, but you don't care about that.
Best Audio being Astrobot. Ham, come on.
Astrobot has pretty good audio, but I don't know. Like
But
I
we're talking
wonder
about
what else was
best.
on the. I'm wondering what else was like to be
What were the
voted for.
nominees?
Yeah.
Mm. I wish we cared enough to watch the BAFTAs. I don't at all. It is, it is what it is. Welcome in, Fark. So yeah, pretty much that's all we have for you, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you guys for the super chats as well. Y'all were very generous. I shall make sure to spend that well on my green card on my way to Texas one of these days.
Well, Hogwarts
Um,
Legacy is coming to PlayStation Plus.
is that newsworthy? Okay, go ahead, Am. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that. And Marathon came out, and there was. I tell you what, I'm not interested in marathon still.
Dude, the little trailer that we saw yesterday,
That teaser kind of pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie.
that looked like Concord Part 2, dude.
That when they said this is just a teaser, I was like, man, this is terrible. Like,
Yeah.
why'd you tease it like that? Like, who thought that this was a good idea just to be like, let's just drop the camera somewhere in the world and have like a
Yeah.
random animal just walk around.
This is
Whatever that
marathon.
is. Like, yeah, this is like, man, the confidence, the goal and confidence of you after you just had one of the worst, most failed games in history to then come out and not show anything about the game, just to show the world and see that it's cell shaded like everywhere. Like, I don't know. To me, it didn't it didn't make me be like, oh man, I gotta watch that trailer again. Like usually when you see a good trailer, you watch it a couple times, right? I seen that thing.
If it's good.
Don't show that shit to me again.
Yeah, if the trailer's good, you'll watch it several times.
We'll watch it several times. Hell, if it was good, we would have had it on repeat.
Probably.
Here on the show today. It would have been on repeat,
Yeah.
just playing in the background while we talked about something. But it was so low energy and unexciting that I'm bringing this news to you here as we're walking out the door. And we don't even want to bring you the trailer because it's a waste.
And then that color palette.
Dude, it was like different colors of urine everywhere.
Oh, bro.
It was too yellowy for me.
Yeah.
It was like being in the LA Forum.
All right. Relax.
Stupid.
Relax. Let me save you from yourself. All right. It wasn't that yellow. Either way, it was pretty bad, and yeah, the reception hasn't been great. I hope it turns out well.
The reception has been, you haven't seen nothing yet. And it's like, you're right.
Yeah. I hope it gets better. But if we're putting money on it and we have to take bets and make bets, I'm not I don't think it's gonna end well for them. If we're judging it off just the trailer.
I done made myself mad. I don't even want to be here anymore.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we had shut the show off on like on a good note, and then yes, Ham, Dare Easy figures it out. Try to relax your shoulders. Your shoulders. Anyways, Ham, do you want to plug anything before we head on out today?
I got tomorrow ready to go for 11:30 Eastern, 10:30
Mass Effect.
Yes, to play some Mass Effect tomorrow morning.
Hopefully
you guys can show up to that. I'm gonna play that for a little while. Hopefully have some fun and whatnot. You guys slide through if you wanna talk shit or watch me play.
All right, y'all make sure to do that. So Ham's doing a stream tomorrow. Y'all make sure to come through. Friday we have bullsitting as usual with me, Cozy, Ham Solo, Matt Lex Games, Mental Nina, and a guest or two to discuss the big gaming news. probably gonna go through the Xbox Showcase thing as well with Cozy and them because I'm very and also I'm interested to find out like how the gameplay is going since they finished. They've probably finished it by now. Um, Seawolf, stop it, stop it. Anyways, y'all have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow for Ham Solo's stream of Mass Effect. Goodbye.